Hi, welcome to the lesson on the slope of a line defined. So let's begin this lesson by defining what a slope is. A slope is the measure of a line's steepness, and the slope of a line is known as rise over run. So rise over run, just like that. So your rise is your vertical line. Okay, that's the y-axis. And then your horizontal line is your run, which is on the x-axis. Okay, and this is where rise is the vertical line divided by the horizontal line. So that's how you can look at this: rise divided by run. Okay, now I will also state this, that slopes can be positive or negative. And an example of a positive slope is when you order pizza. So let's just say that you ordered or you want to order a cheese pizza. Cheese pizza by itself costs $12. But if you add any additional toppings, like say 3 additional toppings and they're $2 each, well, that's a total of $6. So you will not just be paying $12, but you will be paying an additional $6 because of 3 additional toppings you want, right? So that will be $18. So that's how I like to look at that. On the other hand, an example of a negative slope is sliding down a hill on a sled. So the farther you travel from uphill, the farther you are dropped downhill. So those are ways that you can look at rise over run as far as real life examples are concerned. Now, graphs of linear equations can be viewed as positive or negative simply by looking at them. So here I have some examples. So let me ask this question. How do you determine if a line has a positive slope? Well, the thing about this is, if it's going upward from left to right, so let's just say you're reading a book, so you always want to start from the left and go to the right. Well, with a slope, if it's going upward from left to right, then it has a positive slope. So a good example of this is this slope right here. All right, so looking from left to right, you can see that this is a positive slope. So I'll write POS for positive in case you're taking notes on this. And then how do you determine if a line has a negative slope? Well, if it's going downward from left to right, it has a negative slope, all right? So a good example of this is this coordinate plane here. All right, so notice this red line here. If you take a look from left, reading it from left to right as if you are reading a book, it's going down. Okay, so that means this is a negative slope. Okay, now what determines if a slope is zero? Well, a line has a zero slope if it runs horizontally, right? So from left to right. Or in other words, it runs parallel to the x-axis. So a good example of this is this coordinate plane here. All right, so take a look at the horizontal line. Notice is parallel to the x-axis. So this is what you call your zero slope. In other words, 0 divided by some number is equal to 0. So that's what is represented here. And last but not least, a line has an undefined slope if it runs vertically. All right, so you're probably asking, what is undefined? Well, undefined is simply a number that cannot be divided by 0. It's not allowed. It doesn't even make sense. So even if you had, let's say, something that you saw and it said 5 over 0, okay, 5 divided by 0. Well, you know that 0 times some number will never equal 5. So that's why this is undefined. Okay, there isn't an answer. It doesn't make sense. Okay, it's undefined. That's all it is. Not a number answer, put it that way. And I forgot to write this as zero slope. So this is 0. And then this one, I said it's undefined. So we'll just put UND for short. Okay. Now, and like I said earlier, a slope is expressed as a fraction. right? Rise over run. So remember, this horizontal line here is represented as division. So you can divide rise over run. Okay, so let's go over to the next page because I would like for you to answer a couple of questions. Okay, so starting with the first question, it asks, what is the slope of a road that is 600 feet long in length and rises 20 feet in that distance? So notice, just use critical thinking. Okay, this is rise over run. Okay, and I will leave the answer in the description. Okay, and same for the second one. What is the slope of a ramp that is 10 feet long and drops 4 feet in that distance? So, knowing what you know about rise over run, and you know that rise can be positive or negative, same with run can be positive or negative, how will you solve these two problems? Okay, if you need to draw pictures, go ahead and do that. Always try. Okay, so I will leave you with that, and I hope this lesson was helpful to you, and I look forward to working with you in the next lesson. Take care.